What is going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be working on trying to get the RX-7 to run cooler. So right now, as you guys can see, the radiator is in a standard place right here, right behind the intercooler. The intercooler is back in here. And as you can see, even the intercooler doesn't get a lot of airflow. So my issues right now have been when I've been cruising it and it's kind of warm out, like anything above 80 to 85 degrees, the car, after a long, about 10-15 minutes of driving it, it'll want to creep up to 230, which is pretty hot for these motors. I definitely say that's overheating for something like this. It does have water in it, so that could be another issue. But today I'm going to be trying to see if I can do a V-mount setup. Now, I would have to change up the setup if I did a whole V-mount setup, but that's not a big deal. And that leads me to my next thing, right? I've had this itch. It's this weird itch, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. You know what type of itch this is, right? Now, I'm not talking that type of itch. I'm talking this type of itch right here. This has been my itch. Wanted to put this big old bad boy S480 on here. It's a VS Racing S480. That has been the itch. So today, what I'm going to be doing is, while I take this stuff off, right, it just happens to be that I'm going to see how the big S480 fits down here in the nose area. Like, could you just imagine with this 480 down here, forward facing, be able to see that big billet wheel, put the hood back on, get rid of the sloppy eBay turbos? I think it'd be sick. Now, we shall see what happens, but if I have to end up chopping the end tanks around to do this, and if the S480 fits in there perfect, well, there might be a eBay GT30 twin turbo setup for sale. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the boost pipe, drain the coolant, or drain the water in it, remove the intercooler, remove the front nose stuff, just kind of see what I'm working with. Obviously, I may have to end up chopping up the radiator and doing a custom core setup of different end tanks, but we'll get to that point when we get there. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this. Okay guys, so I did make a lot of progress on the RX-7, and I didn't end up filming all of it because I was super rushed and I just needed to get it done. I was gonna get this done during the weekend on Saturday, right? And then it turned into I had other stuff I had to do, and then of course wanted to go racing on Wednesday, which today is Wednesday, we'll be going to the track later. And I just got this all done, so I wanted to show you guys the final product of this V-mount setup. Check it out, guys. This is the V-mount setup. So there's a lot of things going on that I changed, right? So obviously, as you can see, the intercooler is up top here. Now you guys can also see that I cut this big bar out that goes around here. Now the radiator is down here like this, right? So if you look up in there, you can see that basically as the air comes up that's scooped by the radiator, it forces air up into the intercooler. And don't mind the transcooler, I have a new one. I didn't have time to put it on before the track. Some other things that I had to change, obviously, was the intercooler piping. It wasn't a big difference, but I just had to add a couple bends to them. This was really easy to modify. And then, of course, the end tank. I ended up chopping the end tank right here, making it flat, and then putting the outlet right here, so it just 90s up into the throttle body, super easy like that. It actually wasn't too bad, and then now I do have the front nose all trimmed up, so that goes back on, nice and easy. I'm gonna put that on here really quick and then head to the track. So another thing too, right, with putting the radiator down like that, I had to make a swirl pot for the radiator setup because or else there'd be no way to add coolant to it. Now, as you can see, I did have it too short at first, so I had to add some spacing to it, but it works really, really good now. So this is all good to go. It was kind of a pain to bleed it at first, but I got it done. Now, another thing I wanna address, right, the radiator I have, I originally bought like a couple years ago when I first LS swapped this thing and it was stock. Now, in one of the end tanks, it was supposed to be like a dual pass radiator, whatever it is. So it has a plate in between the end tanks and the inlet and outlet on the same side. So what it does is it makes the water have to flow up through the radiator over to the other end tank and back up out of the outlet. So it uses the whole core, and it's a lot more efficient like that. Well, when I went to go drill a hole for the outlet that's on it, I looked through it, and the whole end tank on the radiator was just open. So it didn't actually have a dual pass setup on it. It was literally just open. So everything was going right in the inlet and out the outlet. It wasn't even being pushed through the core at all. So it wasn't very efficient. So now I chopped the end tank, put a plate in there to divide the end tank, so that way it has to flow up and around and back out of the outlet. And it did help a lot. I already did go drive the car around and cruise it around with the nose on it. And I didn't drive it for a super long time, but in the time I drove it, it only got up to 185 was the highest it got, which is good. I figure on a hot day cruising it at like 65, it might get up to 200s, but that's about it. Because the second I start moving in this thing, the intake air temps and the engine temps cool down right away. It's about 90-ish out today. It's pretty hot, sitting in traffic. The car would get up to about 100, the intake air temps would get up to about 100 degrees, which really isn't all that bad. And then the second we started moving, it started dropping down right away, and it'd get down to like 96 for the intake air temps. So the second I start moving, it's only a couple degrees hotter than ambient, which is, I mean, that's pretty good. This core is a nice core, but it's nothing super fancy. So I figured this is a win-win for everything. Hopefully it helps with cruising it and making sure it doesn't get hot. The fan is obviously mounted on the bottom of it. I do have a nicer transcooler I still need to put on it, but it's ready for the track today. I also did make a bar change on it, so I did another 4-link change. I'm hoping it gives the car some more bite, and I'm hoping we can go a little bit faster at the track today. So I'll go ahead and load up. Kyle's gonna be meeting us there, and yeah, should make for a fun day. I appreciate all you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys aren't subscribed already, please subscribe, like the video. You guys know what to do, comment, do all that stuff. Y'all are awesome. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys at the track in the next video.